Welcome to our Sunday morning worship meeting. As I met with someone this morning, and they greeted me, they said, "Are you it?" Well, the answer to that question is no. Jesus and us together, we're it. Okay, so welcome. This is the place where we make a lot about Jesus because He's the Lord of the church, and even though there are two pastors away at the moment, the second pastor is still with us, and that's Jesus Christ. He's the head, He's the Lord of our church. I want to welcome you if you're visiting. This is your first time today. We would like to make you feel very welcome. We have tea and coffee after the service, so please hang around. I can see, for example, Grandpa's here today. Good to have you with us. And also others who come to join us. Please stay back after the service and let's get to know you. And also inside the newsletter, which looks like this, is a yellow slip. So again, if this is your first time and you'd like to learn more about God or Jesus or the Bible or even about this church, fill in that slip and then just pop it in the offering bag as that's going around. Or if you just want to get connected with this church, again, there's still that slip in and there are various options there for you to have a way of getting connected or learning more about who we are and what we do. With regards to announcements, just letting you know what's happening. First of all, Sunday school does start again today, so the kids will be going out during Sunday service. During the service, Sunday school will be starting again today. Also, there'll be some forms given to parents, so please make sure that you return them to Linda. They're just information forms to help us know about any medical conditions or other things we should know about your children. With regards to what's happening today, yes, we have Glenn Honberg from City Bible Forum. I'm going to be introducing Glenn in a moment and letting you know more about him and he letting you know more about him. Then after the service, it's over. Actually, I should mention in the service today too, we're going to have communion. So that's going to be during the service. And our policy here is that you're most welcome to join us if you're a follower of Jesus. If you love Him, you trust Him, you're obeying Him, you're welcome to join us for the Lord's Supper today. After the service, we've got a community lunch, which is down in the lower hall adjacent to this building. That starts at roughly around about 12 p.m. And then after the lunch, we have sort of a discussion group. And it doesn't require you to have any previous knowledge about the Bible or about Christianity. You're most welcome to come. And we sort of go over the things of the Lord in the service today. So everyone's welcome to come to the lunch, and then, as I said, there's a discussion group after that. That usually kicks off sometime after 1 p.m. This evening is a prayer meeting, which is going to take place here. It's at 5 p.m. and because it's the first Sunday of the month, we're praying for the prodigals, which means we're praying for people who are near and dear, close to people's hearts, who have turned their back on God. We're praying that they might return to Him. So that's happening this evening. If you can't get along to that, but there is someone really close to you that you'd like prayer for, you could mention that to Mummy. Mummy, you want to raise your hand? That's Mummy. So if there's someone you'd like prayer for, please see Mummy. Next slide, thanks, Ross. On Tuesday night, there's one of many Life Together groups that's actually kicking off. I'm going to mention this one. We'll give a plug for a Life Together group each week. But this one is starting on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And they're meeting in the little room that's behind us here that looks a lot like that in your imagination. And we want that couch filled. So, come along, Helen. Helen, you stand up for a second. That's Helen. She's leading that group. If you'd like to be a part of that, see Helen at 7 p.m. this Tuesday night. Preparing to be part of the reason we call it Life Together. We don't call them Bible study groups. It's much more than just coming to talk about the Bible. It's talking about the connection between the Bible and your life and sharing life together, like supporting each other, caring for each other, strengthening each other. Okay? And then the next slide, thanks. Some of you missed out on seeing the Ferris last year. That's the documentary, very challenging documentary on human trafficking or slavery that's occurring, the third biggest industry in the world. Really powerful documentary. Here it's just we're really trying to get behind promoting the work that's being done to stop human trafficking. And so there is another screening going to occur at the QB Centre, that's the Queensland Baptist Centre over at Canadian College at Gaythorne in Mitchelton. And if you've not want more details, I can't get there. You can see me, but that's going to be a second on Thursday, the 16th of February. And they're also looking for some volunteers, so if you'd like to help us with ushering and things like that, they really need some support. There's 2 people already from our church who are going to be helping with volunteering on that night. I just want to highlight that for you. Some other things that are coming up, there's some conferences that are highlighted in your newsletter and some brochures about that, like the Ignite Children's Network, people interested in children's ministry, as well as a Purpose Conference, obviously for women. There's occurring in March at City North. We've got some details in the newsletter on the inside page. It's called Shameless Love this year. That's the theme. If you'd like to pick up a brochure or card, you can find that on the table over there. Yes, one other announcement that Monday asked me to mention. On Sunday the 19th of February, Sunday the 19th of February is the National Day of Prayer and Fasting. We will be having a segment in our church service on that Sunday. It's a day which is actually praying that Australia might reconsider its departure from the influences and impact of Christianity that's been had upon our culture and our way of life. And so that's a day of prayer and fasting. We just wanted to highlight that for you, to know about that. As I said, we will also be engaging in that on that Sunday. We'll do a bit more about that as we approach Sunday the 9th of February. Then also Neil Fletcher is going to briefly come and tell us about a working fee that's coming up. Thanks, Neil.
Greetings. For those who know me, I'm Neil. Some gratification in society these days. When they tell us McDonald's, whatever you want, you get it straight away. But these days at church, we sort of we plant the seed. We'll wait for things to come to fruition. But this coming Saturday, 7 till 12, we have a working bee. For those who want to contribute to the church, want the instant gratification of doing something, you can make your mark. So we're doing lots of things, not just for the gentlemen, that's what the tree's for. So that for guys getting together, we need to hug a tree. It's all part of the Bro Brigade, and it makes you a happy little legend mode. What we'll be doing, anything from concreting, digging holes, nailing, fixing walls, painting, doing repairing TV antennas, anything like that. I've actually got 2 friends who are TV antennas, and they got married the other day. The ceremony was rubbish, but the reception was excellent. So if you feel like you want to build your muscles up, get those chicken insteps going, we'll be happy to see anyone. And just there for half an hour. Just bring some gloves, a hat, just some working gear. I'm actually going to buy some of those camouflage pants, those long pants. I wanted to buy some the other day, but I couldn't find them. So well, look forward to those coming. I'll do some more announcements every week. Next week I'll be working on the guilt conscience and religion too as a motivating factor.
Okay, I'm going to invite Glenn to come up and join me just to introduce Glenn and what he's doing. G'day, Glenn. Good to have you. Yeah. Now, Glenn gave me a little bit of a spiel which we put on the Facebook page, and because Windsor Roadies are really technologically advanced, we've all read it on Facebook. Yeah. And yeah, so we can do a little bit of an infomercial for you and City Bible Club. One of the things you said was that you married and got 3 kids. Now, that's a growing interest here because we've got more families, little kids coming. And I'd like to ask you, what's it like raising 3 boys, and what's your wise strategy for being an effective parent?
Is this on? Oh, I turned this on. Right, turned it off yet? Okay. Yeah. My strategy, I read once that like boys are all about, or men are all about strength and toughness. So, but what this writer was saying that you need to help them use their strength and have courage and be risk takers, but also learn to control that. I thought that was really helpful, but my Christian take on it is that actually I want them to use their strength and their courage for other people. So not just to control it, but to see it as something that goes somewhere for others. So we rumble. I've got 3 boys, so we rumble a fair bit. And you can get as full on as you like, but you're not allowed to throw a punch, you're not allowed to bite, you're not allowed to kick. There's no other rules. So that's that kind of framework of just working at your bounty. Be full on, but there's a framework of how you full on. That's just one example.
Yeah, I should have remembered that when I was following my course. You became a follower of Jesus, I think, in your teenage years. University? Okay. Why? What happened? What persuaded you to become a follower of Jesus?
Yeah, I was a churchgoer, but the thing that made me decide Christianity wasn't true was the hypocrisy I saw in my own life. So I wasn't Christian. And then at uni I discovered I wasn't good. I broke my own moral code, and I kept breaking my own moral code, so I discovered I wasn't good. And I met people who walked the talk. So that pushed me on, but the turning point was being confronted with Jesus' Lordship, whether or not he was actually Lord of my life. And then where did that take me? I thought, if he's going to be Lord, if it's going to be true, and it's going to shape all my life, how do I know it's true? How do I know these events happened? How do I know that the information in the Bible is trustworthy? So that sent me on like a 6-month, kind of like an intellectual journey, trying to read up on history, read up on other religions. And at the end of that, and I was reading my Bible, working really hard to read the Bible for the first time as an analyst. I was just persuaded Jesus is who he says he is, and that we've got accurate information about him, and that carpenter is the Saviour of the world. Yeah.
You become a Christian at university,
Yeah.
and being a Christian at university is one thing, but after uni, what happened? What was it like being a Christian in a completely different setting from you?
I worked in business and IT, business and information technology, for 4 years. I worked at the stock exchange, which was fairly full on. It's not quite the same as the stock brokers that kind of really all about making money. The stock exchange kind of organises all that so everyone else can make money. I found it hard. I think, if anything, I was probably not conscious enough of the shape of work. I was so driven by my kind of Christian life that I don't think I did a good job of caring for the people around me and work well. I was open about being Christian, but maybe not always a brilliant worker. So that would be my critique looking back, that I actually needed to be a better worker. Not that I was deliberately goofing off, but yeah.
So you went into City Bible Forum. I know you went to Bible College, you're now in City Bible Forum. Your experiences at the workplace, how does that shape what you're trying to do through City Bible Forum? Is that still like for Christian workers, or is it in the marketplace?
Yeah, so I think what I saw in the workplace was that being open invites people into your life. So though on one hand I was saying I wasn't sometimes as good a worker as I could have been, one of the things I was completely open about my Christianity and how much it shaped me. And the amazing thing was, by the end of my couple of years at the stock exchange, I went and worked with another couple of companies. I'd come back from some church stuff on the weekend on Monday, and people would come up to me and say, "So what happened at church this weekend?" Not everyone, obviously. Some people shunned that conversation. So one of my strategies was something interesting that the pastor said when he preached, or some funny story, or some illustration, which I would try and have it on my lips on Monday to Tuesday at work. And it got so that people would actually start to ask me, so what happened at church? What did you think about? What was interesting? So God was very kind in that regard.
Yeah. I'll just go to a little bit of a plug of what we're doing this year. One of the things the theme this year is here at Windsor Road is strengthening our links with the community. We don't have a flash fancy title for all that yet, but the idea is we want to really use our Sunday services, our Life Together groups, to encourage us to be more open and confident about our Christianity, not here in a church building, but out in the marketplace, in the workplace, at home, at university. So I like that idea of open Christianity. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we've invited Glenn here today. It's just part of that strategy we have, wanting to really strengthen people so that coming to church is about equipping you for doing real Christian ministry outside of this place. We've got some slides for you on City Bible Forum. Do you want to just speak through that and let us know?
Yeah, I can do that very quickly.
Yeah, cool.
So that's just City Bible Forum. There's some images of kind of events last year. It's all fairly flash and corporate. They were our biggest and best events. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to gather people who work 9 to 5, who wouldn't darken the door of a church on Sunday, wouldn't give up their golf or their motorbike ride or their bicycle ride, but are in the city and are rubbing shoulders with Christians. So we're trying to work with Christians who are in the CBD to give them courage and opportunities and then put on public opportunities. So here's our kind of, go to the next slide, here's our kind of idea. Imagine what would happen if every Christian worker saw their workplace as a mission field. It's an interesting challenge, isn't it? Sometimes the people we work with feel like they're the people who leave the lunchroom messy, or they're the people who clog up the photocopier when I most want to use it, or they're the people who create problems in the office politics and stop me from getting my job. And we can kind of have the Christian life and then the job life. And we're trying to say, actually, your job life is part of your Christian life. I was reading Colossians chapter 1, verse 13 the other day, and it talks about how the Colossians became Christians, and Jesus rescued them out of the dominion of darkness and into the kingdom of his Son. And I guess one of the challenges with Christians in the city that I'm working with is to say, do you realise the people who sit next to you in that cubicle, even though they wear a suit, and it might be an Armani suit, they're in the dominion of darkness. And you have the word of truth. You have the gospel. And if you can bring that to them, by hook or by crook, although that sounds kind of nefarious, by openness and love, they might come into the kingdom of light and be under the sun. Yeah, so that's our thing we're trying to share. If you want to go to the next slide. This is our launch, middle of next week. We're kind of asking the question, is the city unreachable? So that's Wednesday this week. If you know a Christian who works in the CBD, this is a Christian event to start the year and talk about what we're trying to do, talk about prayer groups in the city. If you know a Christian who works in the CBD or on the fringes of it, tell them about it, send them in. Get them to register online at that website, which is City Bible Forum Brisbane Unreachable. And we'll have a great speaker there talking on the power of prayer and talking a bit about what we're trying to do. We'll go to the next slide. Here's our first thing in March, our first public evangelistic stuff in March. An honest look at life is our title. If you go to the next slide, I don't know if you can see that. It's on the 6th, 7th and the 8th of March in a city conference room. So just like businesses have conference lunch meetings, marketing seminars, real estate seminars, seminars how to make $1 million from the stock exchange, we're saying, come along, step off the treadmill, have an honest look at life. And Al Stewart is a fantastic preacher coming up from Sydney, and he's going to speak on the book of Ecclesiastes. And Ecclesiastes is a great book for working with people to ask all those hard questions about, is it all worth it? Why am I on the treadmill? Where's it going? Why is there never enough money, no matter how hard I work? And we'll kind of be trying to bring the Bible's flavour and answers to that. One thing to know about the way we do ministry in the City Bible Forum is that the Christians rub shoulders with people who aren't Christian, and we know that we'll get multiple bites of the cherry. So if someone comes along to one of our City Bible Forum events and they're not Christian, we generally don't say, you've got to pray the prayer now, you've got to sign up. What we say is, it's great you came along. If you're interested to find out more, come along to another event or catch up with Glenn for a coffee. Keep checking it out, keep coming back. And what we've seen is, we've seen a guy who was like an agnostic, an atheist who didn't believe in God, but was open to exploring things. It's been like a 3-year journey with him to become a Christian. He just came to something, then didn't come for a while, came back again, didn't come for a while, then asked for a coffee, then came to something else, and over 3 years, don't know if he's a Christian yet, very close. And similar with another lady in the city here, a Christian friend, just whenever something appropriate came up, invited her along. This year, since the start of the year, we've been doing Bible studies on just getting clear what is a Christian and a Christian. So I think she's become a Christian as well. Yeah, that's exciting.
Well, thanks, mate. Let me just pray.
Yeah.
Father, we want to thank you for the work that you've called Glenn to do here in Brisbane. We thank you for the opportunities that City Bible Forum has had, not only to equip Christians to be more effective, productive, and being open and sharing their life and their faith with others at the workplace, but also in interactions with those who are not Christians, who are really thinking about Jesus and about the gospel. We ask that you will continue to make Glenn productive and the rest of the team, and that you will really use them to bring people to Christ. And we ask this in Jesus' name.